There are 5 settings on your TV that you need to check and change right now because most people don't even know about them, and it will change the way your TV looks. Tech it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk. If you go to the store and your TV looked great when you bought it, then you get it home and it doesn't quite look the same. These are the 5 things that you should check right now. And you gotta stick around for number 1 because that one, I think, is the most overlooked, most important setting on your TV. I wanna start with number 5. And this is something that's relatively simple, but most people don't bother to check it or change it. And by default, it's often set to the wrong setting. On this TV, it's called picture mode. It'll be something similar on your TV. I'm doing this demo on a Vizio, but every TV kind of has different names for all this stuff. I'm gonna go into the picture settings, and then you'll see at the top, I've got picture mode. Now sure, there's a bunch of other settings here. We've got backlight, brightness, contrast, color, tint, sharpness. I'm gonna talk about sharpness in a little bit. You gotta stick around for that because that setting is really important. But first, I wanna go back up to the top and jump into that picture mode setting. And you'll see in here, I've got multiple different choices. Most TVs come with a bunch of standard options out of the gate, including standard, calibration, calibration dark, vivid, game, and computer. Now these are default preferences for all those settings I just showed you a second ago. Game and computer are self-explanatory. Those are going to be calibrated for those specific uses. So I'm not going to touch on that right now, but I do want to talk about the other options. Vivid seems like the obvious choice. And a lot of times that's set by default out of the package, but Vivid is not usually the best choice. Vivid is calibrated with colors oversaturated, the brightness set to high, and this is a great setting when that TV is in the store with a whole bunch of lights, but it's not a great setting for most people's living rooms, theater rooms, or bedrooms. So what I would suggest is one of these 2 settings. Look for standard or calibrated. Those are usually your best places to start. So pick which one you think looks best to your eyes, because that's what's going to matter the most, and then go back to those other settings we talked about before, and you can tweak those settings to your liking. I'm not going to show you how to specifically calibrate all these settings, because frankly, that's a whole nother video altogether. But I would say, most importantly, change them until it looks good to you, because like I said, that is the most important thing. Number 4 is also really important because it's oftentimes set to the wrong thing out of the box, and it sounds like the right choice to make, but it's probably not. And oftentimes it's not inside those picture settings. So for example, in this Vizio TV, it's inside my system settings. So look for it in there, and it's often called power mode, power saving, or eco mode. And in this case, my setting is called power mode, but then the setting is called eco mode, and I want to turn that off. Now, there is no on-off on this Vizio. They have eco mode and standby, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's the setting I want. Now, hear me out here. I understand eco mode sounds like the right thing, and because of a lot of rules and laws in regards to power usage, these TV companies oftentimes have to put their TVs in eco mode out of the box. But the problem is that usually eco mode makes your TV too dark. It uses less power, and I understand that. I love trees just like the next guy. I want to use less power, but I also want my TV to look good. And so eco mode will use less power, give you less brightness, and it just won't look right. So if you're watching a TV show or a movie and they've got dark scenes and you feel like you just can't see what's on the screen, this oftentimes alone might be the fix that makes it look better. So I would suggest trying eco mode, and for some situations, a kid's bedroom, for example, or just a general TV that you don't really worry too much about, you're not watching movies on, eco mode might be fine. But for all the other TVs, I would suggest turning eco mode off, whatever they call it on your TV, turn it off, go from there. And if the image is still a little bit too bright, that's fine. Maybe bring down the backlighting or brightness, or try that eco mode again. I want to pause this video for a quick second and talk about our sponsor today. Just kidding. There's no sponsor. And for that reason, the only thing I ask of you is that you subscribe to my channel as I try to grow here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, do me a huge favor, and it'll help you see, of course, my new videos as I post them. All right, back to it. For number 3, we're going back into the picture settings, and this might be one of the most controversial TV settings over the past 10 years, and it's all about motion smoothing. They may call it different things on your TV, but essentially what it does, your TV is 120 hertz or 240 hertz, which essentially gives you 240 frames per second, but most TV signals are about 30 frames per second. Movies are recorded at 24 frames per second. So what this does is it kind of fills in those extra frames artificially to create a smoother image. And if you've ever watched your TV and thought to yourself, something looks weird, it almost looks too smooth. A lot of people call this that soap opera look. Well, this is the setting that's causing that. Now, some people like their images super smooth. I'm not here to tell you that you can't like that. You can like whatever you want, but most people don't really like the way that looks, or they know something's off, they just can't tell what it is. So go into the motion control settings and either turn it off or adjust the settings. Every TV kind of has different versions of these settings. On this Vizio TV, I've got reduce judder and reduce motion blur. So I would want to take both of those down to 0 or 1 and then tweak them from there and see what looks good. And in my experience, different settings actually look good for different things. So for example, when I'm watching sports, I don't mind some motion smoothing because it does make sports look a little bit better. I don't like it turned way up. Maybe you will. But for movies, remember, these movies were shot in 24 still frames per second. And in order for it to have that movie look, that's how you're supposed to watch it. So when you start introducing artificial motion smoothing, it kind of ruins the movie aesthetic, if you will. And if you like that, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you you can't like that, but I think most people will want motion blur turned off for movies and then turned down low for things like TV shows and sports, and your experience may vary. Number 2, we're staying inside the picture controls, and I told you that I'd talk about sharpness, and this is one of those ones that seems like the obvious answer would be to add more sharpness, but that probably isn't your best option. And out of the box, a lot of TVs have sharpness turned up way too high. First of all, you've got to understand that a TV can't make an image more sharp. Whatever you're getting from your streaming box or whatever you're getting from your Blu-ray player or video game system is the sharpness you're going to get. What it does, instead of actually making the image more sharp, is it increases the contrast around the edges. Now, this might be great for a nice clean image, but in most situations, you just don't want too much of this. And if you're using a streaming box and a streaming service, sometimes they're going to add additional artifacts on the screen. So if there's digital compression artifacts, this setting might actually accentuate those digital artifacts, which is exactly the opposite of what we want. So I would suggest turning this way down or even off, and then increase it from there and see what you like, what looks best for you. If you're watching something and it feels like the edges look too sharp or there's digital artifacts that look too pronounced, this is the setting you probably want to reduce a little bit. I'm a big fan of leaving this off, letting the content be as sharp as it was supposed to be. In fact, video game systems are really good about having this tweaked already out of the box. So for video games, I wouldn't really use much of this setting at all, but for movies and TV shows, maybe a little bit. Again, you're gonna have to experiment and see what looks best for you, but I would suggest you start real low. Finally, number 1, and this not only might be one of the most important settings to change, but I think it's also the one that nobody seems to know about. They just don't tell you to change this, and this is actually not inside your picture settings, it's not inside your system settings, it's inside your input settings. So click into there, and then you'll see the list of all your inputs, and you're actually gonna have to change this for every single one. In my case, I'm only using HDMI 1, so I'll go into there, and mine is called Full UHD Color. That's the name of the setting, but yours might be called Enhanced 4K. It might be called a lot of different things. The problem is, out of the box, a lot of TV manufacturers set this off or to a compatibility mode, and what that means is that your TV is adapting to the lowest common denominator, and that's HDMI HDMI 1.0. You do not want it set to off or compatibility, because HDMI 1.0, sure, it works and the picture will get to your TV, but it's not going to look its best. It's not going to support things like UHD color or HDR or a higher bandwidth for a 4K signal. You want to make sure this is set to enhanced, to full UHD color in my case, or whatever your setting is called. You want to make sure it's turned on. Check this. It's really important. And again, after you change it, you've got to go through all the different inputs and make sure you change this for all the different inputs on your TV, because it will have a different setting. Now, if you turn it on and something starts acting weird or that input no longer works, well, that's fine. Then turn it off. It means that that source material, that source device, doesn't support HDMI 2.0 or 2.1. But you'll want to turn it on first and then default to that and turn it off if for some reason you have issues. I hope that was helpful. If you want to see more deep dive TV settings videos like this, let me know which settings you're confused about. Is it the audio settings? Should I do a calibration video for those actual calibration settings? And I read every comment. I'll comment back on every single one. Go ahead, test me. In the meantime, check out these two videos, guys. One shows you how to tweak those Roku settings to get the most out of your Roku box. The other one shows you how to get the best out of your Google TV box. Super helpful, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow, and I've got a lot more cool videos coming your way here on Tech It Before You Wreck It. I'm Kirk.